This year's Champions League final will be between Liverpool and Real Madrid. On Wednesday, Madrid came back from the brink of elimination in an extraordinary semi-final against Man City. The thrilling match concluded with 2 goals in the 90th minute, which forced extra time. And these are the Madrid players celebrating. They can hardly believe it. You can see it on their faces in the dressing room. Incredibly happy scenes there and right across Madrid as well. So let's take you live to the Spanish capital. We can join our football correspondent, John Murray, who was lucky enough to be at the game. John, I thought it was done and dusted until my teenage son came thundering down the stairs and said, 2 goals, Mum, in the 90th minute. It's taking off. And we had to turn the tally back on. What was it like to actually be there?
You're right. It did feel like it was all over, because when Manchester City scored their goal, there were just over 15 minutes to play in the match. And that meant that City had a 2-goal lead on aggregate, and time was very quickly running out. And this, over the course of the 2 matches, was the 4th time that Manchester City had led by 2 goals. And of course, we got into the 90th minute, and Madrid needed to score twice without reply, just to take it to extra time. It did feel as though it wasn't going to happen, but it did. And that's the thing about this Real Madrid run in the competition this season. They've come from seemingly out of it against Paris Saint-Germain in the last 16. The same thing happened against Chelsea in the quarterfinal. Now it's happened again against Manchester City in the semi-final. And let me show you one of the newspapers here. If you can see that headline says, "God, come down and explain it." So even by the standards of Real Madrid, who are the most decorated football club in the world, the most successful club, even by their standards, this was something special.
I mean, what was the feeling in the crowd at that moment, John? Is this a moment for people to remember for the rest of their lives? What were the expressions on people's faces?
Well, they Real Madrid supporters, they've seen the world's best players turn out in their white kit at the Bernabeu Stadium. And they've seen some really extraordinary feats over the years. But let me tell you, I've been in football grounds all over the place when unexplained and unexpected things have happened. And that last night was right up there. And when that second goal from Rodrigo went in, which took the tie into extra time, honestly, the feeling, the atmosphere, the spectacle inside the stadium, you do not see that very often.
And the look of shock and disbelief, I imagine, too, on the faces of the Man City supporters, let alone Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, absolutely crushing defeat for Manchester City. And as anyone who knows anything about football will appreciate, this is the big target for the new Manchester City. And they've fallen at the final hurdle last season. Out in this way in the semi-final this season under Pep Guardiola, who is right up there among the best coaches that we've ever seen. This is his 6th season with Manchester City, and they've not yet been able to win the biggest prize. So the next thing for City is they're also involved in a really tight tussle with Liverpool for the Premier League title this season. Manchester City play a game on Sunday, and Pep Guardiola's job now is to try and lift his team for that match in just a few days' time.
Real faced Liverpool and Paris on the 28th of May then. What can we expect?
I think it's a tremendous final to look forward to. Real Madrid have done what they have done in the competition, as I've described. I think there will be a feeling that perhaps their name is on the trophy again because of what they've done. But Liverpool are one of the best teams in the world, and they've shown themselves under Jurgen Klopp. This is the 3rd time they've reached the Champions League final. There's recent history between the two. They met in Kiev in 2018. That was an extraordinary final won by Real Madrid. Back in 1981, Liverpool won against Real Madrid in Paris. And that actually was the last time that Real Madrid lost in a European Cup final. So there's plenty for us to talk about over the course of the next 23 days before that match is played.
There sure is, John. It's all fantastic. Some great football around. Lots to look forward to. Thank you so much for joining us. Lucky you for a night to remember in Madrid.
Very
Thanks
much
so much.